Hello and welcome to today's episode of the Jacksonville Jaguars Insider Podcast. My name is John Shipley. I am your host and beat reporter, and I have been your beat reporter covering the Jaguars for On SI every single day since August 2019, and we are continuing to march forward through yet another season together. As always, you can find our 100% free, 24/7, boots on the ground Jaguars content when you follow us on social media such as Facebook and Twitter at Jaguars on SI. You can also find us at www.si.com/NFL/Jaguars. All right, folks, today's episode, we're going to talk about 3 things I think I now know about the Jaguars after their game against the Cincinnati Bengals. Now, it was a tough loss. I don't think that can be denied. Every game in the NFL matters. Just because it's week 2 doesn't mean it matters any less than week 16. You know, all those early losses a team has in the season contributes to their record at the end of the season. So they all matter. And if it gets to the point where this AFC South race comes down to, one game or whatever, and you're looking at the Jaguars schedule and you're wondering which games, did they lose that, really come back to bite them. I mean, this looks like the game. And obviously, it can change. That obviously answer can change. But right now, this looks like a tough loss for the Liam Cohen era. I don't think it's defining or anything like that. I expect this team to be better moving forward. And the first of the 3 things that I know about the Jaguars following this game, I know that Liam Cohen was right when he talked about peaking later in the year. He didn't want to peak right off the bat. And, obviously, they look great against Carolina and then struggle the next week against Cincinnati in a lot of areas. Now, obviously, it wasn't all bad. They did a lot of good things. I mean, they put up some monster numbers, offensive-wise, that they haven't seen in quite some time. Had a lot of explosive plays. A lot more than the week before, that's for sure. You saw some guys really stand out on both sides of the ball. Bayshot Tutin's one of them, obviously. Parker Washington, I think, is another one of them. Ezra Cleveland and Robert Hainsey, I thought, had really good games. Anton Harrison, I thought, had another, good game. I now know about this Jaguars team that they aren't peaking right now. And that's a good thing. I think that when you look at the totality of what Liam Cohen has put together, he's put together a scheme that's very sound, very multiple, and simply works at the NFL level. Now, does that mean every drive is going to be perfect? No. Does that mean every call is going to be perfect? Of course not. But I think big picture-wise, you look at this offense and what it's done through 2 weeks, it 100% has to become more consistent. That goes without saying. But the peaks are there. The peaks that are higher than, in my opinion, they've been in a while for the Jaguars offense. I'd say the peaks now are as high, if not higher, than they were in that 2022 season when the offense was really rolling for that little stretch, against the Baltimore Ravens, against the Dallas Cowboys, etc. I believe that this is an offense that should get better as the season goes on. They'll cut down on the operational penalties, like the illegal shifts. I think the landmarks, they'll be better with, etc. So I know that Liam Cohen was right when he talked about this team peaking at the right season. I know that this team is not peaking now because you're seeing the potential, you're seeing the ceiling, but I don't think that you're seeing anything close to what this offense can really be. And I think if you're the Jaguars, that's a really encouraging thing. That this is not yet a team, an offense, that is kind of hitting its ceiling or meeting that mark. Because if it was peaking, you'd see a lot less of these down things. You'd see, it's both clunky and explosive as an offense. It's very unique, very odd. But, I mean, the highs and the lows, they've had to ride them. But they've certainly been able to display an upside, in my opinion, that you haven't seen in Jacksonville on offense in a while. The next thing that I know about the Jaguars after this game is that I know that they have something in Bashal Tun. Bashal Tun, it looked good live. It looked really good live. It did. I walked away from watching that game live thinking, this guy's a heck of a talent. Good player. Explosive. Versatile. Helped them in a lot of areas. 2 big catches. 1 for a 20, an explosive play on a screen. 1 for a touchdown. Had some big runs. The tape is even better. The tape, in my opinion, is significantly, even honestly, better than I thought it'd be. I mean, some of these cuts that he makes, it's like, he's Inspector Gadget, and he just has the springs, and he is go Gadget, and he is freaking out of there. Bashal Tun, to me, looks like a potential star in the making. Like, everybody gets excited about backup running backs. Rookie running backs. Everybody gets excited about them. Everybody. He's already contributed more in the passing game than their former running back who they traded ever did. He's already shown more versatility. He's shown big playability. And he hasn't even been showcased. He was clearly the number 2 back on Sunday. And it feels like there's still more that he can get. More that he can do. So I know that they have something in Bashal Tun. Obviously, 2 games in his career, I'm not going to proclaim anything. I'm not going to say this dude is a future All-Pro. But I know it was a good pick. I can say that much. I know it was a good pick. And then finally, the final thing that I feel like I know about the Jaguars after this game is that I know Travis Hunter can handle the workload physically. Now, the part of the game in terms of knowing the offense and defense in and out, that's probably, something that you're going to have some patience for. Come in time. A rookie, no matter how highly picked, is not going to have the entire playbook on both sides of the ball down right out of the gate. But that's never been a question to me because everything I know about Travis Hunter, everything I've heard about Travis Hunter is he's going to put in the work. So that's nothing. Does he have a challenge? Absolutely. And we've talked about the challenges. They're in training camp. He was learning 2 playbooks. Now he's learning 4. He's learning the Jaguars playbook on offense, on defense, and then the opponents each week in terms of their game plan, trying to figure out what they do. So that's obviously a big challenge, a big hurdle, and I think that he's going to attack it head on. But what I do know is that physically, 85 snaps. No player in the NFL has played more snaps in a game this year than Travis Hunter did. He was an Ironman. And I know people are still, waiting on the big plays on both sides of the ball. I know. He almost had a 2 pass breakup day on defense against the Bengals and would have had the game-winning pass breakup if not for a called penalty. And I know people are still waiting to see him do more on offense other than just kind of be a tunnel screen guy. But regardless, Travis Hunter did not look like at any point, physically, in my opinion, the game was too much for him on Sunday. And yeah, he's not the biggest guy on the field in terms of pure mass and stuff like that. But I also don't think that necessarily matters all that much. I think that Travis Hunter showed a lot on Sunday in terms of the simply being able to do it. Being able to really play full-time both sides of the ball and come out on the other end unscathed. Thank you guys for listening to today's episode. My name is John Shipley. I'll be back next time.